Hello guys, what's up? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And of course, it's your girl Lovey guys. Today I have my friend here. We will be taking you through a real life story. I hope it motivates you out there. Be sure to watch till the end. Please remember to subscribe. As I already told you guys, here we entertain, we motivate, we educate, and above all, we create awareness on the issues affecting the youth's daily lives. Welcome. Yes, so guys, today we will be talking about life after campus. You know, there is something you were not told. So my friend will be taking us through. It will be a story. So, welcome.
Thank you.
So, introduce yourself.
Okay, I'm Collins Omondi. I'm from Rangwe constituency, former student of Nanga University of Technology back in 2019. So right now I'm back here at home trying to cope up with my fellow youths, trying to see on what we can do to better our economy as a youth. Yeah.
It is great, guys, as you've heard. So, will you please brief us? How was life like in campus, like when you were still there?
Okay, during my time, I remember I was in a university that was still a branch of JQuad, and life used to be very enjoyable because you realize that we never had so many things like more of life. Mostly we major on academics because Muranga was just like a secondary school. You could not even imagine that this was a university because what we were being told when we were in a secondary school and what we were experiencing was totally different. So what I can say is that personally I enjoyed my life in campus because of so many things. I was not only there for academics, but also to learn so many things, which of course I can say that has really contributed for me being the person I am today. Like I can say that apart from academic, I was actively in politics, students' politics. I was also a strong member of Christian Union and above all, the kind of environment that I was receiving from the Muranga community, the Mount Kenya region, in terms of economics, was really encouraging because I had to learn so many things, not only from students but also from the community, the people around Muranga, and that's with that you realize that there are so many things that happens that are of great importance, or some things that we can learn from people of Mount Kenya region, we as people from the Lake region, in terms of how they do their business, in terms of how they live, their nuclear family is totally different from ours as people from the Lake region.
So,
Yeah.
about the nuclear family and everything.
Yeah.
Can you brief us on how do we do it in the Lake region, like the
Okay.
family basis?
Okay, the family basis, actually what I can say is that their family chain is short, is very short, how they interact with themselves as a family. You know, once a student, once a pupil is done with the secondary education, is he or she is actually being taught the basic, like they take business as a basic thing that one must learn because you never know what tomorrow entails for this particular person. So you must know how to do business because even right now there is no employment in Kenya through government. In whichever faculty that you do, you have to be very creative and innovative on how you can create your own enterprise from what you have learned from university. Yeah.
So, what about the economic life of you as a student? You know, we always have this, we get this knowledge that students, comrades in school, there's so much suffering, you know, from your pockets.
Yeah.
How was it there?
So actually, I can say that in terms of economic life, you know, life in campus is totally different from that kind of life that we used to live back in secondary. Because in campus, you remember you are a grown up, and in campus is a situation where you can also go to class as you do some side hustle or as you get some kind of employment. So it actually depends on in terms of being employed or of being self-employed, it's actually on land. But actually, I can say that life in Murang'a was a little bit cheap if you compare to this other region. If I can compare to this other region in terms of rent, at you could get a house worth 1,500 shillings, 1,500 shillings or 5,000 bed sitter worth 5,000. With that you can do. But again, in terms of commodities uh, or resources, you realize that most majority of us, we get support from parents. So you have to live within within the limit of within the limit that you can be able to afford. So you don't live. We live different lives. Like for me, I used to live in a house worth 4,000. But there's somebody who could afford a house worth 10,000 shillings monthly, and there's that one person who could also who could not even afford that 4,000, so was only able to live in that house worth 1,500. So you realize that it is how you budget. You have to budget with what you are able to afford, so that you cannot get into these criminal activities trying to compete with someone else lifestyle. So you have to budget and live within the limit at that which you are able to afford.
Okay, and you also talked about politics in school. You are a student leader. Like, how did you manage to, like, what difference did you make as a leader to the students you were leading while you were still there in campus?
Yeah, as a student, with entrepreneurship, I say that I did entrepreneurship, and it is very hard for you to differentiate or to take away the leadership part from entrepreneurs, because actually entrepreneurs are CEOs, and with CEO you have to have that quality of a good leader. So is that for me as a student, I became a leader in my first day, the first lesson that we attended. That's when I was elected as a class rep. So I was able to do so many things as a class rep. I was able to organize fund drive for most of our students who are not able to afford the school fee. We had some students who are orphan or who came from a very poor background, so they were not able to acquire school fee at the required time. So we could mobilize resources through students or through the administration, through work studies. As a leader, you have to be creative and innovative on how you come out with things that are able to assist your students, because by the end of the day, what is important is that for me is seeing all of us, the 58 entrepreneurs, because we were also the pioneers of the entrepreneurs. We were the pioneers in our course. So we had so many difficulties, but then through God's grace, we are able to succeed as a student. So we mobilized resources, we assisted students in paying their school fee. In when somebody who had a need, like maybe it's in terms of sickness, in terms of the loss of a member of a family, we could come together as a family, and that's the way to go. Yeah.
So, what about your expectation? Like, what expectations did you have, like, after campus? Like, what did you expect?
So okay, after my expectation after campus was that you are in college, then you feel like going outside there would be more easy. But then what I was expecting is that as an entrepreneur, you are your own job creator. So what I was expecting a better economy, to start up my venture, so that I can employ more people into that business, or you get something like a job where you can do your side hustle. Yeah, so it is the expectation. My expectations was very main, but we have our expectations, but then they have to match the reality outside there.
So, what is that reality that you just put? What is the reality? Because you expected something, but there is something happening right now.
I remember we graduated in August 2019,
Yeah.
and we just took 2 months. Then there was this COVID-19 outbreak, so it really affected the economy. So you realize that for us as entrepreneurs, you are there. You want to start your own venture. then their economy, there is that lockdown of movement of people, and there is no business that can strive without people. People are the customers, and you must have customers for your business to do well. And so that was a major challenge, and you realize that most of the funds from the government are driven towards the health sector. So you realize that economy, we even though you have an idea, but it couldn't sell because you need money, you need capital. Maybe like we were expecting too much loan from the government. That one didn't happen. So, and then there, you even if you had your business, there are no customers because you are restricted. You are supposed to open your business at this particular time and close it at this particular before 6 o'clock in the evening. So I realized that it's actually a challenge. Then some governments policies concerning the enterprise, they are not favoring the young entrepreneurs like us when you are coming into when you are just new into the market, because we have different counties with different policies. So you realize that it varies. So like for me, I come in Homa Bay, where business is actually, people do not take business as such seriously. So it is not easy, but you have to do and do something good out of it.
Okay, so what about the decision you made? Like maybe after campus you decided to go back home, or you decide to stay back in Muranga. Like what did you do?
Okay, I decided to come back home because by the end of the day, it is not going to school that is important, but what you do with that knowledge that you learned from school is what matters. Because you will realize that most of us as students, or in Kenya, we have so many people who are learning, but we are not cultivating that our education to help to assist the society. You realize that there are so many things that people value, like money, of which, if we as youths, we see life as if there is no money, then we are supposed to sit down and do nothing. But for me, I see it as an opportunity, maybe, to grow. We can intern ourselves if we fail to get internship from government or from companies, because by the end of the day, uh, the society is seeing you there as somebody is learned, somebody who has knowledge about a particular area or sector. But if you sit down there doing nothing, and you realize that most of the challenges or employment opportunity that we have in Kenya can only be solved if we go back to rural, because you realize that most people are congested in urban centers, forgetting the opportunities that are very open there back in the rural area. So for me, I saw that as an opportunity to even nurture my fellow youths who are not even able to get into even a secondary school or a campus, because we can teach these people. There are some basic skills that they can be able to learn through just talking and nurturing them. Like a person who is from campus, then you meet them, you share with them the knowledge you have, because by the end of the day, these particular people, they will have families, they will have to put food on the table. And with this driving economy, you can have business, but if your customers are not equipped with income, they have no money, then you will have no person to sell to. So you must first of all ensure that you empower these particular youths for them to have money in their pocket, for your business to boom. Yeah.
What about them? Like now you are an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Like what have you done? You as a person since you left the campus? Because I understand that you create them opportunities.
Yeah. So yeah. So for me right now, I do fruit salad. I do fruit salad. I sell fruits. I also make juice. Yeah, different kinds of juice. So actually, I make different kinds of juice as part of my income. And you realize that through this it is just a knowledge. The fruit salad and the juice making part of it is just it is just one of the knowledge or something that I borrowed from the campus, that from the community. I told you that I learned so many things from Muranga community, leave alone the student part of it. And I saw that one, area as an very innovative thing that was not being done here back at home. So with that, having witnessed and having learned so much about it for 4 years, I saw it as an opportunity to come and venture back back at home. Yeah.
So what advice could you give someone who is doing entrepreneurship in campus right now?
So what I can tell my fellow entrepreneurs back in campus is that opportunity is wide, but it's how you are going to capitalize on them. Don't just sit. Let's not come from campus expecting that things will move on a smooth way as we expect. There are so many challenges here and there. Governments keep on changing policies. We have different crises, drought, maybe for those who want to venture into agribusiness. So we must be ready to face these challenges in order to come up with a solution that will be able to assist our society. So in whichever area or whichever sector that you are in, please, I would advise you to try and capitalize on that in a way that it brings a change, or it motivates those youths back at home to do something better to earn a living.
Okay, so your closing remarks.
Okay, my closing remark is just to say thank you for welcoming me to your channel today and sharing with my fellow youths life during campus and after campus. And more so, I would like to tell my fellow youth that let's do something better for our country. That is what is going to make us have a better tomorrow.
So guys, as you've heard, I hope you're motivated. We've come to the end of the Real Talk Show as here at Lovi Lovi. I hope you get something, you learn something from it. Thank you for always choosing Lovi Lovi as your #1 YouTube channel.